Welcome to the Ponderous Brick Thinker. This is another installment in Learning from the Pros. In this episode, we're going to continue with LEGO set 75352, Emperor's Throne Room. This comes from the Star Wars Diorama Collection. In the previous installments, we completed the base and have done a significant part of the floor for the throne room and the beginnings of the wall. You can see part of the dramatic curve that's coming up, but for now, we're going to go with bag 3 and see where that takes us. Not as many bricks as the previous bags, but we'll see how they're used. So we're going to start with these. I think there are 1x2 slopes that are 3 bricks high, and they are going to get a 1x2 plate underneath. And 2 times the slope, 1x2 plate underneath, and they're going to go on top of these right here. It's kind of disconcerting, even though it kind of makes sense. It looks like a black piece right here, but on the print, it looks like it's just gray, one single color. But they're arranged so that the straight part is on the inner part, coming in like this. Now we're gonna do something right here. Okay, first we're gonna need a gray single stud plate that is still square, not round. A dark gray single stud brick with a hole in it, technical. And then a single stud brick that's gray. Now what is kind of not super clear is that these, in this depiction, they seem shorter than usual, but from what I see here, they are normal size or normal height. So they just go in like this, and 2 of them. Oh, and this one gets, they get a white insert. So it's a Technic white piece with a stud on the outside, like that. Then we get a single stud plate that's still square, a dark gray single stud brick with a hole, and a gray single stud brick, like so. And we're going to put it right here, right next to that, so that there is still this, it's the 1x4 brick, and then this one on top of the dark gray. And I need to put in a Technic connector with a stud, whoops, right there. Over here, we're going to put a single stud plate under an inverted 1x2 3 high slope. Inverted, that is. And the other one is here. This gets a plate, single stud underneath, and it goes here. So apparently this single stud I'm gonna say it's needed in order to create the illusion of a circle. I'm not sure if I'm seeing it, but it's right there in terms of it's starting to turn. All right, and then the next step. Wow, we're gonna do things with it. All right, we're gonna start with a 1x2 dark gray with 2 Technic holes. They are gonna get a white connector with a stud, and that is going to connect to a gray, round, smooth, single step plate. Goes in like that, and like this. And then a 1x3 on top. And then we're gonna get a 1x2 inverted. And a 1x2 inverted there. So that completes 3. And 4, we're going to get a 1x2 slope pointing in this direction, and then a 1x3 brick right there. That's 4. In 5, we're going to get a 1x2 slope that goes or follows that slope, and then 1x2 log imprint here. And then to cap everything, it's going to be a 1x3 gray piece capping the log and that 1x2 slope. And all of that is going to go on top of this. So we see, yep. This is that right there. So we're creating the arch. That's kind of an interesting detail where we have that, but we also have this. Unless this gets covered, we'll see. Okay, so we're going to do the opposite side. We're going to get a 1x2 dark gray with 2 Technic holes. It's going to get a white Technic insert with a stud on one end, poking out like that. A 1x3 brick, like so. Then we're going to get 2 1x2 inverted slopes. There, that's step 3. Step 4, 1x2 slope going in this direction, and then a 1x3 brick here. It's kind of curious. This piece on its own looks, it doesn't make any sense, but once you put it, okay, now there's a flow to it. Because we're going to continue putting a 1x2 slope here, and then a 1x2 brick that has the log imprint. And we'll see how important this is. It has some nice texture, but if it's going to be covered, we'll see what the back looks like. And on top of this is a 1x3 slope. So we get this shape. And it goes right here. So that is that right there. Almost looks like a mitten hand. Okay, so we're going to do, I think, the cap right there. So the longest 1x plate It's gonna get a one stud brick, dark gray with a hole facing like this. And then we're gonna get a 1x3 brick, and then a 1x4 with horizontal studs, and then a 1x3 brick, and a single stud brick with a Technic hole, like so. Then on step 100, it's this, it's a 1x2, but it also has 4 horizontal studs that goes in the center like here. And we're gonna need 2 1x2s. Those are gonna go right next to the brick we just put. We're also gonna need 2 1x3s to kind of make everything even. Over here, these are not normal bricks. There are 1 stud bricks, but they have a different kind of shape. These, now I need to kind of be sure, they might be just gray, but in the printout it looks kind of dark gray, but not as dark as that, so it might be normal gray. And then there are 1x2 plates that kind of go in like that. I need another one. And let me do the other one. So here's the plate. Here's the single stud brick with a horizontal stud that is shaped differently, and there's no other kind of close enough kind of looking brick, so it's that one. And we're gonna place them right here, but they're facing, the studs are on this side, and the backs are with these studs. Okay, so then in 102, let's get 2 single stud gray bricks, put them right next to the black. And same on this other side. So here's the height, and then it goes up a little bit. We're going to adjust the height some more because on each side gets a 1x2 plate. So even like this, there's a sense of a circle. Here we're gonna make it flat though, with 2 1x3 plates. These go, oops, these go right here. All right, and then here, it's a curious detail. We're gonna get these modified plates, and we're gonna get these, they're dark gray, oops, dark gray. They go in like this. They're on this side, not where the most of these are, but this side. They go like that. And do the other one. There's the arm, and then the modified plate. And they go in like this. Now this over here helps securing them, because right now they're just kind of held in place by that single stud. Even though they're new, they're not that strong. So this step will help keep them in place with these 1x2 slopes. Like that. Now, turn around this way, even though you don't need to, because on each end is going to get a 1x3 slope pointing outward like this. Now, what do we have here? We have stacking with 1x6 and a smooth 1x6. There. And then it goes on top of that. Centered, so that there's 2 studs on each side. Okay. And then right here it's a 1x2 slope, but it has the grill indentations. It goes right here. And right here. Okay, so on the box, they're right there. That's where we're at. And then it goes there. This comes to the front. And I might have done something wrong. Where did those come? Oh, I did. I went from 108 to 110. So here, yeah, 108. But in 109, we need to put these inverted slopes on the bottom. There. And there. Now we're ready for 110. I think I was just excited to complete the circle. Like that. It's not his day. Okay. There we go. And that's how it looks. So when they designed this, they made this a little bit deliberate so that you can make this portion, you can make that portion, you can make this portion, and put them together without having to put this on this part and then that part here. You can build a chunk of it and then attach the chunks. Okay, so we're here with 110 going to 111. And I'm not sure what I'm looking at. So we have this one here. We're going to need 4 of these red inserts that have a stud. So this one, right next to the edge, but not on the edge. Over here, we have this long one, long hole, a normal hole, and then this one. So it's that one. And then skip one, and then it's 2 together. So over here, we're going to get these 10 connectors and 1 black one. Let's look at the connectors first. The edge of these have crosshairs, so the crosshairs is what goes in. And another one on this side. And then we're going to need to put a black connector here. There's no crosshairs on it, so it goes into the available space. So that is step 2 right there. on top of that, we get that curve right here. And then right next to it, it's a 1x3 smooth plate. And that's going to go right here. Let's see where that goes. Oh, the back. Because I was looking at, there's that detail, and then I didn't see it. But there it is. So I'm seeing this hole, this one, and that one as being part of the means of securing this. Just a little bit on each side, and then I can push in. There we go. Probably more structural than aesthetic. Doesn't really go with the beam. It would have been nice if the beam kind of continued. But there we go. Okay. So we're going to continue with that side with this lift arm. So in the first available circles, we're going to put a red insert with a stud on this side. Here's the long one, here's a circle, and then one. Skip one, and then it's 2 red. Yep. And then we're going to go on the underside, the tan crosshair insert, and then another tan crosshair insert, and then a black connector that goes in the available space right here. And then we're going to get a curve smooth plate with a 1x3 smooth plate. And that gets inserted here, here, and here. Oops, I forgot to put that one. So put you here. Kudos if you caught it and put yours in when the instructions told you to put it in. And then we go here. Oh, now it's these. Okay, so the smaller one goes here. All it does, it's insert. The crosshairs catches it, so then it bends. I thought it was going to be Technic, but it's, well, this could be considered Technic, but like a Technic angle to make the circle. And I was curious, I did not see anything too thick in the picture. It's supposed to be a circle. Okay, that looks more circulish. All right, and then over here, from the first bag, we put those in there. Turn it around, and these help grab. Okay. I'm gonna insert it first because this is more secure than these over here. Because the other part is that they're kind of on a hinge, but I don't know if I need to rotate them so that it can grab I guess it's a pipe? I'm not even sure. It goes like that. Okay, there we go. Kind of follows that. It's almost circular-ish. I would like to see more of these. They can make a lot more interesting shapes. Okay, so then over here, what are we doing with these pieces? Oh, I need to look for them, but I think they might have been back to portions. They get inserted into there, and they help grab the smaller ring. I think. Let's see. Because first insert them, and then we're in bag 4. But in bag 4, it kind of indicates inserting. So yeah, so let's see. There they are. These parts right here. Insert. Maybe they don't. They're too outside. Let's see. Maybe it's more decoration than that. Because then we have this here, and the claw is not really holding onto it, so it's just a detail thing to do. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure about this part right here. It might have made a little bit more sense if the Technic bars were orthogonal or maybe octagonal, just so that it's a little bit like here's the smoothness, but behind the scenes it's really rigid. Because then you have this here, and it doesn't really follow this curve. And I would like to see more of those pieces, just so that, yeah, you have something nice going on right there. Okay, so I think that it was it for bag 3, because now it's bag 4, but an interesting development where the completion of the arch for the window, that's what the focus was, and then the addition of these special pieces. So, this has been the Ponderous Brick Thinker. Thank you for stopping by. If you liked the episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more progress on this project, go ahead and subscribe and sign up for notifications. And see you next time.